Good evening. Good evening. Wait for people to come into the room. Good evening and welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And happy Thanksgiving. The day after Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Okay. I'm waiting to get started till we have people in the room. Right now, we have nobody in right now. I don't see. There we go. We have someone come in the room. Great. Welcome to my live stream. Fight CPS and stop taking our children. I'm your host, Bob Pace, and I've been doing this now for over 25 months, or actually 25 months come time in December and be on the 26th month. That's 2 years. Twice a day I come on from at 10 a.m. in the morning, Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. on the weekends. And the weeknights I come on at 7 p.m. Those times are given to you in Pacific Standard Time. I'm broadcasting live from Southern California, south of Los Angeles, at a place called Surf City, USA. I'm 3 blocks from the ocean, and I'm here to talk about something called the Child Protection System. What I call is a government agency, the Child Protection System. And it's a system that it was set up by the government in 62 by an act of Congress that directed social services to have a group of social workers put together a entity to protect our children from neglect and abuse. Further, if it's necessary because it is safe at home to break the family apart, then they're supposed to do what's called family reunification because the parents may have a little hiccup or did something wrong that can be corrected through parenting classes or programs such as domestic violence or drug awareness or drug rehab, where you want to call it. Those seem to be the common things. Domestic violence and drugs seems to break families more apart. And domestic violence is something that can be as simple as just verbal abuse. It doesn't have to be hitting. It doesn't have to be physical. Anyway, I am glad that you found me on Facebook. And for all purposes, when I say CPS, I mean the Child Protection System, found in every county, every city, and every country. Yes, I do have 25 countries. Along with the U.S., it's 26 countries of approximately 3,000 people that have called in so far or text a message. Now, I'm going to put up one of my banners that tells you how you can interact with this live stream. This banner is self-explanatory. Please text me a message and make it a question or a comment about CPS. Show me your name and your location. If you're from outside the United States, put your country. That's all there is to it. That is all there is to it. And then, secondly, if you want to be a guest on my live stream, that means to be in a window like me, in a smaller window, of course. I can have up to 9 of you. With me makes 10. And you can pick one of my 14 live streams. All you have to do is say, I want Bob's Sunday morning show or Bob's Friday night show or Bob Wednesday morning. That's all you do. And that's another banner I put up there. You put your name, your phone number, and email it to me. That's bobp@vincentwdavis.com. And then I'll get your email and then I'll forward it on to Grace, who will send you, she's my show producer, and I'll send you a link in your browser that you copy and paste, and you can be on my show. And you can interact and help me with the show. The show is best when people interact. That means you ask me questions and I try to tell you the answers. Anyway, that's the second way of interacting with this live stream. Lastly, I can put my phone number up. It's 626-698-0990. You can call me directly on my phone. It's direct line to my phone. It's my work number, 626-698-0990. The other phone number that's on the screen, 888-888-6582, office of the attorney I work for, Vincent W. Davis. He's been doing this now for 40 years, fighting CPS. He's an excellent attorney, and he's schooled, educated, and licensed in the areas of dependency law, family law, and juvenile law. Those are the three areas of law that CPS works in. He also is a trial attorney, meaning he can do criminal trials. If you're charged with a felony or a misdemeanor, he can help you with that. A lot of times you get double whammy. I had a double whammy, meaning that not only does CPS charge you, the district attorney will charge you, and the city will actually be the one that does the charging. The district attorney has a lot of power, and sad to say, the CPS does too. To navigate in CPS requires you to have an attorney. And that's one of my rules. That's my rule number one, that you get an attorney. Because if you've now been approached by CPS, you're guilty. That's how they treat these call-ins. People call in. There are two types of people, lay people and professionals. Professionals are required by law to call in. And they will supposedly say you're doing something negligent or abusive to your child. They're trained, so they're like nurses and teachers and doctors and firemen and policemen, but 50% of the time they are incorrect. 50% of the time they're incorrect. Anyway, these so-called professionals will say something, report something, and then CPS thinks it's true. So you're guilty before you're found innocent. In the laws of CPS, you're guilty before you're found innocent. Now, I was talking about my attorney that you can hire. Now, if you call that number, 888-888-6582, you'll reach the law office of Vincent W. Davis. There you'll speak to reception. Tell them that Bob Pace sent you. Make sure when you call in, you say, Bob Pace sent me the call in. And if you want to talk to Mr. Davis, they'll set it up for you. They'll set up an appointment. There is a fee that you have to pay to talk to Mr. Davis, but they'll discuss that with you. Also, the office reception will tell you about live streams that Mr. Davis does and several of the other people. We have 3 or 4 other people that do live streams like I do. I think I'm the only one that does this twice a day, 7 days a week, 14 times a week. So I'm on pretty regularly. And I'm on because I want to help you, because it is a tangled mess. So many of you you'll talk for an hour and then call in again, talk for another. Some of you will take 6 or 7 hours to work through your case. But my background, I have been fighting CPS now for 15 years. They have my children kidnapped for 3 of those 15 years. I got back 2 of my children. My other one was coached and coerced to divorce her mom and dad. And that was a sad, sad thing. She changed her name, got a new birth certificate, put the adopted parents as her mom and dad, and then got a second Social Security card to double dip. Anyway, it is a really hard situation. It really is. It's a very, very hard situation. Now, when you speak to Mr. Davis, you tell him also that Bob Pace sent you. You tell him that also Bob Pace sent you. And he's a very likable man. Not only will he do criminal cases with you, and he'll do your CPS cases when your case is over. He's a he's a civil rights attorney. He will sue CPS, either in state court or federal court. for millions of dollars. For millions of dollars. So anyway, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you. I'm here to um, answer your questions or your concerns. Now, we've had some people in here, and sometimes you stay or sometimes you go. Sometimes you're my regulars. I have about 30 to 50 regular people that I call family here on my live stream. And I have some of you that have hired my attorney, Vincent Davis. And I like you to do that because he will defend you. Now, he works out of Los Angeles County, a place called Arcadia, and his typical retainer in LA County is $5,000 approximate, and his hourly rate is $500. What attorneys do is that they'll have a retainer, and from that retainer, they will work on your case. Every tenth of an hour is billable. Every tenth of an hour is billable. So what they do is billable. And that's when they start off with 5,000. But the retainer needs to be replenished. It cannot go down, or there's stipulation with the documents you sign. Because attorneys will do the case unemotional. It's really hard. We as people have feelings, and we let our emotions take control of our feelings, and then we do a lousy job trying to defend ourselves. We're not as knowledgeable as these attorneys that go to school and been practicing. You don't have to understand, 40 years is a long time. I know it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for me. I took my Fairville home and quick sold it to pay for my case to come up with the money. I don't expect you guys to do that. It took me 45 years to get my Fairville home. And when I quick sold it, I'm sad. I'm sad because it looks like I'll never get a home again. CPS has ruined me financially. They've cost me millions and millions of dollars. and they're taking away one of my six children, my precious 12-year-old daughter, who loved me so close. I'll never forget the time when my mom and dad are dying and she went to help me load up my parents' belongings in U-Haul. I didn't have much money at the time, loaded up the things. I had lost my job in 2010. If I still had my job, I would have had professional movers come in, pack up my parents' things, and put it into storage professionally. But I didn't have that. So in 2014, she and I loaded my parents' belongings, and my daughter and I. And we went and tried our best to pack them and put them in the U-Haul truck and take them down to where I live. Because I had no income, I first put them on my carport apron and put a tarp over it. Because I lived in a private neighborhood, I was not allowed to keep them there. So I had to put all my belongings in my house, in my yard, everywhere. And it was too much clutter, and it caused a lot of problems. It caused a lot of problems. It's a downhill of why I got involved in CPS. Um, anyway, Hello, Aaron. Good evening and welcome. I'm so glad to see you all the time, Aaron. You are definitely a special girl. Aaron is from Tennessee. She has something common with her firstborn. She was born a month later than my daughter. She was born on June 2nd. And her name is Aaron. My firstborn is Aaron. And she's the same year, too. She's as old as my daughter. And she's gone through some terrible times where she has lost a couple of her children. She's trying to hang on to one child she has left. But Tennessee is so corrupt. And it's a hard thing for her. Now, I'm on here tonight to talk about the child protection system. It has many different names. Like in LA County in California, it's called the Department of Children Services and Family. In Orange County next door, it's called the Child Protection Services. In Prescott, Arizona, the home of the Pink Ladies, where these crazy social workers decided to wear pink T-shirts, and on the front of the T-shirts they had um, professional child kidnappers, and on the back they said, "Parents, do you know where your children are at?" It was terrible. It was definitely terrible. Anyway, it's called the Department of Children's Services, DCS. Then in Richmond, Kentucky, um, they're called the cabinet. So no matter what it's called worldwide or in each county in every state, um, it's all the same. To me, it's a CPS. So just use the word CPS. Everybody will know what you're talking about. Everybody will know what you're talking about. So, Aaron, do you have anything new to ask me or anything new you want to say? Hopefully, you're doing better there. I know it's hard. I know it's really hard. Oh. Ah. So here we are to talk about questions, concerns. And I just saw Christina Reynoso. Hi, Christina. Thank you for the thumbs up. You can do emojis here. It looks like a lot of people are coming in. That's good to hear from all of you. I love to answer any of your questions or concerns. I have a pretty extensive background. I have 43 years of marriage experience. I've helped raise 6 children, and I got involved in CPS in 2010. I've been fighting them now for 15 years. They stole my children in 2015 and returned 2 of the 3 that they stole in 2017. Sadly, my youngest girl was coached, and the social worker took revenge and showed her how to divorce her parents at the age of 12. So she's no longer with us, and it's sad because they did that so terribly. They did that so terribly to me and my wife. Anyway, I want to thank Christina Reynosa for doing all the synopsis for a lot of the people in here. I'm sorry, Christina, I hadn't finished reading the synopsis you sent me lately. I need to look at it further, Christina Reynosa. Anyway, um, there's a lot of issues out there that you can be faced with. It starts off with a knock at the door, usually. And that time you have to question yourself, should I answer the door? You all were taught that life skill in the early beginning, answering the door. You have to answer the door. And my experience for the last 2 years talking on the show had told me don't answer the door. There's nothing but bad news by answering the door. What will happen is usually the social workers will be there and they'll have the police that look very intimidating. That look very intimidating. And um, so, hi there, Christina Reynosa. You're in here. And again, I thank you for all they does. Christina Reynosa is from Las Vegas, Nevada. We have Aaron from Tennessee. And then we have Veronica Bueno. I've been reading a lot of the new California rules of court. They really are interesting. What rules were we talking about, Veronica? And what part are you from California? I assume that you're reading the California rules. You're from California. What part of California and what is your CPS case? Hello, Justin John. Justin John is Tony the Tiger Cassandra from Ostenago, New York. Welcome back, Justin John. She has a child who's 14 years old and she's trying to gain custody back of him. But she has terrible family members and a bad CPS entity in New York. Veronica says, why wouldn't say the new California court will just say they look very updated and they look very ready for a party to hold people accountable? I think what it's going to do. Well, yeah, we definitely have to follow the rules. We're a democratic society made of rules. You know, if you take government, you learn all about the three parts of government: the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch. And we learn a lot about government with the newest president. It seems to expose a lot of different things that what a president can do and what the government can do. Now, we're in here about the Child Protection System, CPS. And we're here to help one another and try to understand it. But I found out that CPS, 50% of CPS have gone rogue. They're bad. You need an attorney. Just like open heart surgery, you need an attorney. You need a doctor who is trained and educated to perform the surgery. Same goes for navigating and fighting CPS. You need a professional attorney. Hello, Lisa. Welcome, Lisa Bartley from Montana. So glad to see you. Hope you're staying warm with your furnace and your stove and the rewards of seeing your son at Thanksgiving. That was a blessing to my heart. I'm so glad that you're able to enjoy your son and see him on a good visit there. Now, Justin, John, Tony the Tiger, Cassandra, um, she said with that grievance, he had no choice. The fact she coerced me to take a CPS deal at my fact finding kiss upsets me. But she told me it was the only way to have a chance of getting custody back and seeing. Yes, Tony, the Tiger, Justice John, you are fighting a legal matter with a court appointed attorney, if you do have still one. Sadly, your hands are tied behind your back and you have to go with what's coming down. Veronica from, I believe you're from California. I still haven't got that confirmed. She's asked me a question. Do you have any suggestions for parents, or what do you think that your parents should do when they don't have custody of their child and the mother's instinct is never wrong? Are you a child, Veronica? Are you a parent or are you a child? When they don't have custody of your children, that's hard. Whoever has custody dictates who sees that child and how that child's taken care of. Now, if it's a divorce, if a family separation, that is even hard because the best kind of divorce is where they spend 50% of the time with each other, the father and the mother. But sadly to say, that never takes place. And a lot of the parents get mad at each other and argue and yell, and it all becomes a really bad mess. It really becomes a bad mess. So you have to follow the custody orders. Even though the mother's instinct is never wrong, I agree. A mother has good instinct to take care of a child. Are you a child? Are you in foster care? Or are you a parent and do you have children, Veronica? And are you from California? I know you read about the California laws. And are you being accused of negligence or abuse of a child? What is your CPS issue, Veronica? And Tony, it is hard. It's hard what you're going through, and I know that you're hurt so bad. Lisa is a good one that so far, for the last week or two, she's had good news. She finally got wood for her fireplace to keep warm. She finally got a propane tank and a furnace on the wall so she can have heat. Living in Montana is a cold place. Living in Montana is a cold place. She lives in a trailer too, which is nothing wrong. It's a home, but trailers are not as well built as homes are with the insulation and so forth. But I'm here to try to weed through and help you with your questions and your concerns. I have Christina Reynosa from Nevada, and I have Aaron from Tennessee, and they are both family. They've been in here lots of times. They've been in here lots of times. So anyway, I'm trying to answer your questions and concerns. As I mentioned, I have 5 rules. One was to get an attorney. You have to get the right kind of attorney. that will defend you. A lot of you may think, oh, your court appointed attorney will help. No, they work for CPS. They're only trained in criminal law, and they'll not fight for your case. You have to really make them work. You may have to fire them and get another one and another one and another one. Rule 2 is document, document, document. Need a notebook. Need tabs to organize your material that you put in your notebook. And you got to create an incident log on a sheet of notebook paper and devote 3 lines for each incident. An incident is an event that's happened to you and your children. It could be with the social workers for CPS, or it could be the police, or it could be maybe the school, or even your children. You want to record it because you need the documentation. The first line is that you put down the date and time, and if it took place over the phone, you put the phone number. If it took place at a place you went to, you put the address. Then you put down the people that were involved. The second line is a summary of the incident. It's a 1-sentence summary. Shouldn't be too hard to do there. The last line, the third line, is you put the outcome of the incident. If you don't know it, leave it blank, come back later and fill it up when it gets finalized. But you do that, you're going to have hundreds of incidents in 6 months. And that is a documentation that you can use in court. Your attorney can use it, and you will be able to remember things that way. The other documentation is something I call a journal. You should be writing every day to your children when they're gone. Your thoughts, what has been happening, and how you want your children back or so forth. It's very personal, but if you write it, it'll make you feel better. And if you don't see your children, you have a written record that they can read later in life. Because your children are the most precious things they are. I love my children. I have 6 of them. And I'm happy to say all 6 are doing well. One is divorced from the family. The other 5, well, 4 of them have family. The other one just recently got married. But my youngest one, 20 years old, just moved out recently. And my next one at 25 moved out and got married. But they're doing successful in life. But CPS has messed them up as well as my wife and I. We've been really messed up by CPS. They're a terrible, terrible experience. And I want to help you all not go through the same thing. That's why I talk about it. Uh, anyway, it's now getting 20 minutes left of the live stream. And you can call in. My number's been up there now for 40 minutes. And I'd love to hear from you. Even though you've talked before, it'd be great if you talk again. It'd be great if you talk again. It'd be great if you talk again. Now we have a new person here called Faith Hudson. Welcome to my live stream, Faith. Hopefully you tell me where you're from. I like to know the location where you're from when you text me a message. And we go ahead and use your name as Faith. And she says, I need to put that on the screen so people can see that. What if there is one single incident that happened when the commissioner had denied the dependency petition based on no safety threat? I'm going to stop there because the word that troubles me is you mentioned commissioners. You should never, in a trial, use a commissioner. When you go to court for your arraignment, and if a commissioner is present, you say you want a real judge. You want a real judge. You don't want to have your case decided by commissioners. They do that. They're lawyers and they're not judges. But you want a real judge that's been trained and licensed as a real judge. So that disturbs me when you mention commissioner because they do not know the child protection system. Now, they denied the dependency petition based on no safety threat, and you were tricked into complying with a welfare check where the agency officials presented all these documents and tell me that my son won't believe that office with me today. It's sad. They are, CPS is very corrupt. 50% of the time, you're going to run into a corrupt one. I know that from talking to 3,000 people in here, over 3,000. I think we're close to 3,050 people. They grabbed your son, Faith did, in his car seat and went behind their automatic locking doors. Well, first of all, they have to have a warrant to take your son. You didn't give permission. You thought they were doing the right thing. But that is wrong. That is wrong. And why did they take your son? What are the allegations? And why are you dealing with the commissioner? And where are you from, Faith? Where are you from that I can help you? I'm so glad you called in, Faith. Don't be frustrated there. You just saw this on your feed. Well, I'm glad you did. Okay, you're from Vancouver, Washington. Okay, I've spoken to a half a dozen people from Vancouver, Washington. Welcome. I know Vancouver, Washington. I used to go to Vancouver Island and a place called Long Beach. It's a surfing break up there in Canada. But it's a fun island, Vancouver. Lots of killer whales. Anyway, Faith, you're in Vancouver, Washington. Why do you have a commissioner instead of a real judge? And okay, hello there, Vantamir. Now, I don't know if you're trying to be the president of Russia in here, but that looks like the picture of Putin. And so I don't know the premier or the president of Russia. I do not know them, and I don't really want to speak to him because I have nothing to do with him. You're from Minnesota. That is good. And maybe you just took that picture because you thought it's a cool thing. What is your CPS case, Vatimir? What is your CPS case? And you're from Minnesota, and that is great. So we have Vatimir from Minnesota. We have Faith from Vancouver, Washington. We have Veronica. I believe she's from California, but she hasn't confirmed that. We have Lisa Bartley from Montana. And then we have Cassandra, who's Tony the Tiger, Justin John from New York. And then we have Christina Reynoso from Nevada and Aaron from Tennessee. That's a lot of nice people that we have here, and we're here to help you. You're just in here for the truth. Okay, Vladimir, ask your question about CPS. Ask your question about CPS. I don't know how things. What is your CPS case, Vladimir? You need to tell me what your CPS case is. You need to do that, Vladimir. what your CPS case is. Um, anyway, hold on 1 second. I got to turn the heat down. It's roasting in here. So I got to go quiet on the mic for less than a minute. I'll be right back, and I'm going to remove myself from the stage for 1 second. I'm back here. Sorry I had to go for a second there. Thank you, Faith. I am trying to be upbeat and try to help you all. Faith tells me something new here. Um, they were entering ex parte orders with knowledge that I was provided no choice to that shelter care hearing they held. I don't know. I've done my work for my son and put my record request to all no involved agency. I found a VPA, I don't know what a VPA is, submitted to my son's healthcare account with the father's mom, she hates me. I guess the father has remarried and you're the divorced mother. And her signature on that VPA along with those agency officials' names on that document. But what it says at the top of the document that the authority for the supervising of my son. I know. I know how that feels when reading that. That is hard for you. Thank you for the other emoji here. John Matthew, thank you for the care emoji. And thank you, Christina Mendoza, for the care emoji. You guys are all amazing because you've reached out and you're asking for help with me. And I want to help you. I do want to help you. There's no question I want to help you. We have Game Changer. You've been in here before. I just roam in your life. How are things? It's good. It's good, Game Changer. I remember you the other day. Got what state you're in or what country you're in. If you could tell me that, Game Changer, if you could tell me that. Anyway, we have Faith that's talking from Vancouver, Washington. And it's so good to have you guys all here because I will tell you how it is. As I mentioned to you, when the social worker comes knocking the door, you don't want to answer the door. Not only do you not want to answer the door because the social worker, it may be the police. And it's so many times the police have shot and killed people answering the door. I know of numerous stories, I can tell you. From Florida, several cases, in LA, several cases, where people instantly open the door and next thing they're shot to death. Yeah, the police are fired or a lawsuit takes place, but that doesn't bring back the life of the person that they terminated. So it's like one of the life skills when you teach your kids, and it should be taught in school, don't answer the door to strangers. And if you can't see them or know them out there, then don't answer the door. When you hear a knock, the best thing for you to do is be quiet. If you got a peephole, try to look at it. If you got a video camera, look at it. If you don't recognize the individual, don't answer the door. And just because they got a police uniform on, because we've had weird people dress up as policemen and kill senators. I mean, the world isn't safe anymore. If something's that important to somebody to talk to, there's your phone, there's your mail. They can either write you or text you or make a phone call. That goes for the police, and that goes because they don't have, you do not have to open the door to anyone. There's only three ways that you can open the door. One, you open the door, it gives them permission. Or you have a family member that opens the door, that gives them permission. Two, if there's ongoing fighting in the home, shouting, yelling, shooting, whatever, they're going to break in. They're going to come in, social service and the police. But there's no shouting or yelling going on. Then what you do is you tell the family to be quiet, either go to the back part of the house, go in the closet, but don't open the door. The third way is going to be a warrant. Well, if you're not answering the door, how can you see the warrant? You do sometimes encounter them on the outside of your home because you just came home or you're walking the dog in the neighborhood. If you do encounter them and they say they want to come into your home, just say, is this a legal matter? If it's a legal matter, the next thing they say yes, then you tell them, I need to have my attorney present. My constitutional rights is that at all times of all legal matters that I have representation. So that's how you get out of it. You tell them to give them the warrant and take a look at it. And if it's very legit, then you can let them in. But it's very important. A lot of warrants are fake out there. The warrant, should say the name who it's addressed to, which is usually you they're talking to, or your wife and you, your partner and you. It should give the address and list the children and list the alleged charges, if there are charges that they want to charge against you. Furthermore, there are instructions on a specific date and time and address they're going to come and carry out what they need to do. If they need to remove your children, you have to give them their children. If they need to inspect your home, you have to let them inspect your home. But if you don't answer the door, you don't see the warrant. So it gives you a little bit of time to hire an attorney and let your attorney deal with them. Let your attorney do the right thing. Now, a lot of you can't afford an attorney. And I tell you, um, I wish I was married. I'm sorry, Faith. Sometimes I wonder about me. I don't know. Marriage is a long time. I've had 43 years of commitment. And I sometimes wonder, what marriage and family was all about. And I guess you were a single mom that had a child with a guy that's gone off and married another woman. I think that's the way your synopsis has been telling me. You've been telling me that. Now we only have 5 minutes left. It's almost it's 7:58. I do have to end my live stream in 2 minutes. So I got to come down to a closure here. I have to do a closure here. And so those are the ways of entering the home. No, his stupid mom. Faith, I'm confused. Are you a child that's been that uh, I Faith? I do recognize you. You're hurting, Faith. You don't feel. You're open here. And again, I'll be on again tomorrow. This is Friday night, so this is the weekend. I'll be on tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. in the morning. Vandermeer, this is about child protection services. Uh, we're not here to play music or games, Vandermeer. And I don't think you're sincere of being in this room from Minnesota. Um, anyway, I do have to wind down now. I certainly, uh, I did, Faith. He's gone. This is not a funny place, and using a despised man out there in the world is really worse. So he is gone. He can come up with a new name, but I have a lot of those jokesters that come in here that think it's funny to disrupt a room that people are trying to help for you. Please, I'm on tomorrow at 8 a.m. and tomorrow at 7 p.m. That's all Pacific Standard Time. So thank you, Faith, from Vancouver, Washington, for being a part of my live stream. I want to thank Game Changer for coming back. And things are going okay, Game Changer. And Veronica, I believe you're from California. And I'm sorry that you've had such a hard 11 years is a long time. 11 years is a long time, Veronica. And Justin John, you're Cassandra. That is Tony the Tiger from New York. And thank you for touching base with me. Lisa from Montana, thank you for touching base with me. And I'm hoping things go so good with your son. Christina Reynosa, thank you for all the work on the hard work on your synopsis and what you do. And she's from Nevada. Erin is from Tennessee, and you're beautiful, Erin. And thank you so much, all of you, for being part of my live stream. I encourage you all to come back. You're part of my group of 3,050 people from around 26 countries. And I'm going to take my phone number down because it's time. And I'm going to put up the Department of Government Efficiency. That's at the federal level. If you can't resolve your issue at the local level, at the county level, through a supervisor, manager, or director, you go to the state level at the Capitol and talk to the civil rights coordinator. If you can't resolve it with a civil rights coordinator, then you go to the federal government. You go to the Department of Government Efficiency, nicknamed Doge. They have a website that tells you all what they're doing. They have 2 phone numbers. They're 202 is the area code for Washington, D.C. They do work. They also have an email address, doge@mail.house.gov. Now, I'm going to leave that up. Because there's going to be a video that you guys are going to watch at the conclusion of my show. And I really want you all to have a good night. Again, happy Thanksgiving. All of you that were in my room on Thursday night spent Thanksgiving with me, and that was so great. Thursday morning, Thursday night, I enjoyed my Thanksgiving with you all. Tomorrow night, I am going to have a little bit of Thanksgiving with some of my family members that could be all together, that will be together tomorrow. And I know you have statute of limitations. You can file things and worry about the details later if there's statute of limitations. But I do have to go. There's a brief video I want you to watch. And whatever you do, don't forget to keep fighting for your children. Come here before you decide to quit. Never quit. Never quit for your love for your. I really care about you guys, and I really want to help you. So please come in again and enjoy the video. God bless you, and good night.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against it, it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last one.